When I was a kid, I truly believed that the sharpshooter was life-threatening, that the tombstone pile driver was akin to getting shot in the face, and that the perfect plex was impossible to get out of. Now, a large reason for this is that I was a kid, and as a kid, I was stupid. There is another reason for it though, and that is if a finishing move was used, it led to just that. The finish. If you saw it happen, you knew the match was over, apart from those few times that would blow the roof off the place. And this is why in 2017, WWE needs to start protecting its finishes again. Why? Here's why. I'm pretty sure I don't even need to go into this one in great detail, but I will anyway, because why not? We're all friends, loved ones, partners here. Let's do it together like one big happy family. But one of the biggest issues with modern day WWE is that the idea of the finishing move is pretty much dead and buried. Kicked out of on a whim in 2017, it's gotten to the point where the finishing move doesn't really lead to the finish of the match. And that, my friends, is absolutely ridiculous. And it breaks grammar entirely. The finishing move did not lead to the finish. That's a fail if you take an English class. Aside from taking away from the impact these maneuvers are supposed to have, how can I think it's devastating when every Tom, Dick or Harry kicks out of it? It also triggers the law of diminishing returns. For example, as awesome as near falls and last minute kickouts can be, and just see AJ Styles versus John Cena from last year as proof of that, if you're doing it all the time, eventually I'm just gonna tune out. My suspension of disbelief wanes, and I soon start telling myself I don't need to buy into that as the finish, because it's obvious the other guy's gonna kick out. Then guess what? They do kick out, and this twisted approach just continues to remind me that what was meant to be the finishing move that would lead to the finish is no longer the finishing move that's gonna lead to the finish. It was, in fact, just another move to trick me that the finish was coming, when actually a different move is going to trigger the finish. And with all of this, I continue to grow, I continue to evolve until I don't see the finishing move as the finisher, because even though everyone is calling it the finishing move, it never finishes a match. And breathe. This happens across the board too, even with the beloved Roman Reigns. I've seen countless people kick out of the spear, and the Superman punch at this stage just feels like something to do. As opposed to anything threatening, Roman Reigns may as well get in the ring, lick some stamps, stick them on envelopes, and mail them. Then when that happens, the other dude drops down, Roman pins him, that guy kicks out. At this stage, that's more or less the same thing. It wasn't a problem at first, but we're at the stage now where a hard reset needs to be introduced, which means that a finisher equals the finish of the match. So, if John Cena hits the AA, that's the match done. If Baron Corbin hits the end of days, that's the match done. If AJ Styles hits his phenomenal forearm, that's the finish of the match. If you still want to play and toy around with false finishes, then find a way to do it, but find a way that doesn't bring into question the integrity of these devastating maneuvers, as Vince McMahon himself used to say. If nothing else, it would allow guys and gals to start telling different stories and building matches in a different way. Let's look at Wrestle Kingdom 11. At Wrestle Kingdom 11, Kenny Omega never hit his one-winged angel, which preserves the power and the sensation behind the move, whereas Okada had to hit his Rainmaker multiple times in order to win the match. Now, straight away, you're probably going, ha! There you go, Simon, you shit. Omega kicked out of Okada's finish. And yeah, he did. But do you know how many people had kicked out before this match? Barely anybody. Which is why it works so well here. On one hand, the guy's usual signature move that puts people away didn't, and on the other, we didn't even see the guy's signature move. You see the story that's being told here, and how both moves are being protected and put on a pedestal? That's pro wrestling! Come on! This isn't an easy thing to do in the current landscape. We're going to have to run a lot of matches that end suddenly as we try and retrain people's brains. This doesn't mean that spots can't be put together to lead to the big finish, but it does mean once we've seen that big move, that's it. No more. Finished. Kaput. Over. I mean, look at the pedigree. Or at least when Triple H hits it anyway. You can take all the shots at the world of that, but it seems so devastating because it's been protected, and therefore, when someone does pop a shoulder at the last minute, we all go, oh man, maybe we should buy into this guy because he's clearly got something because he kicked out of the pedigree, and the pedigree usually kills people. That's where a finisher can help so much too. If you're trying to get someone over, a viable way to do that is for the people in the back go, hey, let's have him kick out of the stunner, because that will make everybody take notice. That's essentially how Brock Lesnar got turned into the monster he is. Only in that scenario, it was someone going, hey, let's have this guy beat the streak, and because the streak is treated more carefully than a newborn baby, it worked and it made everyone open their eyes and go, oh my gosh, I've got to pay attention to this, and then go on the internet and moan, but we'll ignore that bit. Now, I know I said the word finish about 450 times in this video, but it needed to be said. We need finishers to come back, and we need finishers to come back in the way that we're used to. And if nothing else, I'm just really bored of them not meaning anything anymore, especially because they used to mean so much. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and then let us know what you think about finishes in the WWE, and then like, share, and subscribe. Then if you want to come talk to me on Twitter, you can, and I'm at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from What Culture, and when Ric Flair gets up in the morning, he usually cries, thanks for watching, you've just been wide.